Oh, it's Philip time again. Now these are something that I wanted to cover for a long time. It's also my dream device that I wanted so bad when I was young. These are handheld Windows devices from 2009 Korea. Pretty much in the same category with this Legion Go, just released more than 15 years ago. Nowadays there are both handheld devices like smartphones and tablets that connect wirelessly and lets you easily stream videos and music, but not even 15 years ago, doing internet on the go was something that not anyone can do. It was still very early days of smartphones, and multimedia on the go meant you needed to download them on with your computer first and then transfer to devices like phones, MP3 players, and these kind of PMPs or portable media player. But these don't require to download medias. They can connect to the internet on the go and stream them. These are meant to be used as mobile internet devices, hence they're called MID. And as Wi-Fi, it can be configured with 3G or WiMAX capabilities, although this doesn't have any modems installed. What makes this special is that it has x86 architecture-based processor and runs full-size Windows. Not Windows CE or Windows Mobile, full Windows XP and Windows 7. So yeah, they're pretty much shrunken laptops, and these are what Intel imagined what mobile internet devices would be more common in the future, or what they hope to be back in the day. Now this S5 is small enough that it can actually be used on the go, but this X70EX is so much heavier. It has built-in mount for a car dashboard, so it's probably less focused as a handheld device, but intended as a multi-purpose device, including car GPS navigation. This one's battery still works, but unfortunately, it has been already wiped by previous owner, so I have to reinstall Windows and drivers by myself. Also, this one has a DMB tuner inside, so it should be able to receive TV signal and let us able to see live TV show on the go. For this X70EX, I haven't tested yet. It did came with a battery when I bought it, but it was swelling bad and becoming an extra spicy pillow, so I had to dispose it. It has this unusual marking at the top. It could mean literally long term, or it could mean a person's name, or it could mean the name of the location, or anything. I haven't tested yet. So hopefully this will work once I hook this up with a power supply. Now for this one, I don't have a matching power supply, so I'm just gonna use this programmable power supply that I used in a coding laptop toy video. 5V and 3A is what this accepts. Power this on, and let's start reinstalling Windows for this one. Okay, so we have 32 gigs of SSD. Actually, this uses a rather rare storage. It is an SSD, but it uses PATA, also known as IDE, as an interface. The reason it doesn't have a SATA drive is because that the Intel chipset that was bundled with the Atom CPU doesn't have SATA drive compatibility, so that's kinda bummer. Now I saw a picture that it uses a zip connector, and I also know that there's a popular device that also uses IDE hard drive in zip connector. I wonder what that could be. Back when this was a new product, I was young and I really wanted to get this. Simply having a device that can run Windows and any programs on your hand was quite nuts. I don't think the screen is supposed to be flickering like that. Oh, why is it doing this? I don't know why, but seems like the installation USB that I made is corrupted now. Almost every BIOS are not being copied. You gotta love tech issues. Get out. Oh my goodness. Fine, I will make the installation media once again. This is something that I was not expecting. Get up. I don't know what is causing this. Do I really have to get a USB 2.0 drive? Fine, I got the USB 2.0 drive. I swear this doesn't work. I mean, I guess it's not a Kimsito episode when everything works perfectly fine on the first go. I've never seen a Windows installation fails like this persistently. I changed the hub, I changed the USB drive, I remade the installation media. I can't possibly think what's causing this issue. I'm pretty sure this thing's SSD is dying at the moment. Anytime I attempt to write, it just doesn't work. Let me show you one thing in the PE mode. So as far as I know, this Philip S7 has the same SSD as the Philip S5. If I try to retrieve the smart information of the SSD in this S7, it just doesn't know what to do with it, but at least it shows total writes and reads. This thing on the other hand, doesn't even show how much data have been written. It's just messed up. So I'll have to replace the storage. Earlier in the video, I teased about that this Philip S5 uses IDE hard drive in chip connector, and yeah, iPad Classic also uses IDE hard drive in a zip connector, so it should be compatible. This is the iPod that I got like 2 or 3 years ago when I first watched Dankpod videos. It was almost broken, so I restored it, and I did put the iFlash solo and upgrade it to 256 gigabytes, but it's broken at the moment. Whenever I plug the dock connector, whether it's plugged into the computer or wall plug, it just immediately freezes. Might be something is shorting out in the motherboard, but that's not what I can do at the moment, so I'm just gonna salvage the iFlash. I'll come back later in the future video, try to restore this thing? Probably not. The company who made S5, Yugyung Technologies, was not a big company. Like, someone in the Korean Billet Forum visited the company building to fix their device, and I heard that it was like a factory, that like they were building components in their headquarters. It's really fascinating how they could make this. Ooh, yes, finally. That is fascinating. So I assume the processor is located inside the shield. This appears to be in charge of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This is the SSD in problem, and otherwise there's not much to see here. Now, how can I detach the SSD from the rest of the board? Are they attached with a double-sided tape? Oh yep, that's a double-sided tape. Last minute Bex, is that you? So there's RAM chips lying below SSD. I'm just gonna move this tape back in its place for now. And SSD is out. 15 years old ancient solid state drive. Will it actually hold or even work with this? Alright, I replaced the flex cable because the original one was too thick. Really hoping this works. You'll get slow formatted, just in case if that can be a solution. It's detecting it. Ooh, but why is it stuck? Oh, it's so close to be revived with an iPod, but it's denying it. Oh, why is it not turning on now? I'll be back when I manage to fix this. Guess it's time for another endless troubleshooting for me. I'm not sure how this is possible, but the original SSD is working now. All I did was to connect to my other Windows PC with zip to USB kit, performed disk part clean and slow formatted. When I put it back into S5, it's not throwing write errors anymore. I wanted to use iFlash, but it seems to be incompatible. I guess that's fair, since it was never intended to be used as a normal IDE hard drive, but specialized for the weird nature of the iPod. It doesn't matter. The original part is running now, and I get to finish restoring its software with this one and only product key. Most of these Atom MIDs came with Windows XP, and some of them came with Windows 7, which had almost no optimization for touch controls. If you have ever used a Windows computer with touchscreen, chances are very high that you have experienced the frustration of pressing tiny buttons that are only optimized for pointing devices like a mouse or pen. It makes me wonder if things would have been different if Intel hadn't just proposed the idea of these Intel-powered handheld devices, but had also come up with some concepts for how to control them. Yes, it is neat to see a desktop operating system running on your hands, but you won't be able to answer your colleague's question. Wow, that's cool, but how can it be useful? Oh yeah, installing the graphics driver reminds me of a neat fact about it. Its performance is notoriously bad, but did you know that it's the same graphics used in the iPhone 3GS and iPhone 4? The same graphics from the same year's smartphones, running a full-sized Windows. No wonder why it sucks. The only advantage of using it was that it came with a hardware decoder, so it can play Full HD videos without any problems. What a poor thing, honestly. Intel literally just shoved in a graphics chip that was being used in ARM devices at the same time and called it a day. Of course, there may be a good reason for that, but it's just depressing that they couldn't come up with their own mobile graphics for Atom back then. Oh, and the way Intel described this graphic chip in a press release is truly a masterpiece. Let's take a peek. A flexible, programmable architecture that supports shader-based technology, 2D, 3D, and advanced 3D graphics. Oh yeah. Well, you don't say, Intel. Okay, most of the drivers are installed properly, and now it's time to try out the DMB, which will show live TV signals. Ooh, okay, that's good. The DMB tuner chip is detected properly. I'll probably have to rescan the channels. These presets should be out of date by now. Oh, it's just a shame that the signal isn't that good in this room. Come on. It works. This is live TV. I can even record it too. Oh my god, it works. This is even cool today, but how cool it would have been back in the day. This is way much cooler now. Oh man, now that the driver installation is almost done, I'm going to install some necessary frameworks for the software. Bilip devices come with Bilip's custom launchers pre-installed, which is their effort to make the user experience better, rather than just shipping in a plain Windows UI. What if Intel also took good care of software part as well, when they wanted to dominate the mobile market with Atom? I mean, they did a horrible job in hardwares with Atom, but it surely would have been different. Even if Intel made a great mobile x86 processor with a great power consumption back then, I personally think they should have worked more closely with Microsoft to make Windows more touchscreen friendly. Like, imagine this Legion Go runs Windows with UI that barely changed since XP. Small buttons and menus that were never considered to be pressed with a fingertip, and not to mention higher DPI support. Even operating systems interfaces like this, third-party software should be nightmares to control. Microsoft actually managed to make Windows touchscreen friendly UIs and made actual guidelines for mobile devices. It's just that it was 6 years late from this S5. Windows 8 interface was ideal for tablets, but not for desktops that uses mouse and keyboard. And here's a hot take. I do think Windows 10 had a decent UI that not only looks good, but also actually practical for both desktop and mobile phones at the same time. Only the thing that was lacked was Microsoft's efforts to keep and push it long enough until the new platform became stable. At last, the software restoration for the Philip S5 is complete, and the battery lasts surprisingly well. So this is the launcher that Philip made for this form factor called Cube UI. It's just a simple launcher with widgets, nothing crazy going on inside, but a nice way to use this device. Of course, the DNB feature made this device even more special and interesting to this day. Also, this particular model is configured to have GPS receiver embedded, so you can use this as a car GPS navigation, and there was a Korean map service that makes Windows computer into a car navigation. Now this where everyone has a GPS system in their phones, it is not useful today, but definitely a rare feature to have in your pocket in 2009. It has a vibration motor inside, so you can set it to vibrate anytime you press anything on the screen, or you can let it only vibrate when you're pressing a virtual keyboard, which can be instantly opened by this key at the right bottom. Oh, and here's a neat feature. If you press the virtual keyboard button together with the jog button, you can rotate the screen. It does not have auto rotation, but still useful workaround to have. Fast web browser is supposed to be a remote browser that compresses resources on its private server, pretty much the same as the Puppet browser, also that it was a paid service. iBillip is a driver update tool, but also useless now that Billip has been shut down. It also came with this Billip music and video player. They all have the same interface as Billip's PMPs, which were based on Windows CE, so we can see that this is more like the ultimate mobile device from Billip, as it says on the front, Ultra PC PMP. And this USB-C client is, it's not about the USB-C port, of course. This predates the USB-C port by 3 years. By setting this device will be able to connect to another Windows computer and mount itself as a USB storage device, even though this is a Windows computer. So basically, it makes itself like an MP3 player connected to another computer. That's what this mini USB port is for. And once I plug this cable into another Windows PC, it shows up as a removable drive. Okay, this seems like it requires the host computer to have the software installed, and it's asking me to use it in an XP machine, so I can't really show how it works now. But you get the idea. I'm just amused that in 2009, you could have accessed the Windows experience and the internet with this device. Well, yeah, the Atom processor is unsuitable for most programs and games, especially paired with that single gigabyte of RAM. It's still full of fun today, but there was a huge room for improvements at the time. I think that's enough attention for this device now. Let's take a look at this one. This is the Billip X70EX. It's almost identical to the Billip S7 that I covered in the first video. Same Atom processor, same RAM, and same display, same webcam, and same SSD. When I got this, I didn't have any matching power supply, and the battery was completely flat, so I wasn't able to test anything. I expect nothing from this device. Like in Korea, when you buy something second-handed, people actually responsibly reset their device. So it's actually hard to find someone's playlist or someone's document or software. I expect Windows XP is not even installed on this. Okay, good. Whoa, wait a minute. Why is there Windows installed? What? Hold on, what the? We just put it into Windows. What the? Is that a 119? This device seems to be not formatted at all. I'm not sure why that says pre at the end of the model name. Huh. What? One navigation. What is happening here? What? Oh no. This seems to be used as a car navigation for fire truck in Korea. And this program seems to be a navigation whenever it gets a order to move from headquarters. I mean, it kind of makes sense that it literally has a car mount at the back. But this is something else. What an amazing discovery we're having. Okay, we'll close it for now. Okay, camera works just fine as expected. Let's see what's in the program list. What the? Okay, this just seems to be a YMX modem client. What can we see in the settings? Whoa, okay, oh, it is from Buyer Station. The marker at the top now makes sense. It was a location name. How come this was not formatted before it was sold? Okay, there's nothing interesting installed except for these special programs. I'm gonna see when this device was being used by looking at the logs in the event viewer. It was used mostly in 2014. Ooh. They still have the recovery partition intact. We don't have to go through all that manually installing drivers and stuff. Before I wipe this thing for good, I need to see if anyone's played a game of 3D pinball. Oh, how about buy the card game? Nah, no one ever played games with this. That's okay. It was fun to see how this device was used in the past, but it's time to reset it to factory debug and see the out-of-box experience. Here we go. We want rescue. A recovery tool by American Megatrends. The system will be recovered. Yes, please. Good. Now we should be greeted with a registration screen. Oh yes. Can we get to hear the out-of-box music? Oh, we can! Yeah! My gosh, I never seen a Windows XP OBE screen on a new device before, especially with sound coming up properly. How exciting it would be go through the setup when you just unboxed your first machine. Whoa, look at all this crap. Oh, it's bundled with a Gun Player. Oh, by the way, Gun Player was the most famous video player in Korea around 2005 to 2013, I think. It's been a long time since I saw that interface too. I'm having a lot of flashbacks. I mean, there's nothing much to see here now, no pre-installed games other than Windows debug ones, but nevertheless, it's always nice to see Windows XP's out-of-box UI with the music, because most of times sound drivers are not configured yet, so it usually goes through in silent, so that was pretty nice. And that's it for this revisit of Korea MIDs. These devices are still full of charm by the nature of their capabilities, and always makes me happy to see them working in my hands. Would love to hear your experiences if you used this kind of UMPCs back when they were new, especially these billet ones. Although I could only admire getting one back then, but we're here to appreciate these devices that basically became a foundation to these modern handheld PCs. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.